to your wife, Happy Mother's Day, but you didn't mention the name of your wife. Oh, two names I'm a gift, auntie. Hey, yeah, same thing. Oh, you don't know my wife? Google gifty auntie. Or Henry gifty auntie. So Henry gifty auntie, the first song was for you for your Mother's Day. Oh, you also one for Diamba. I want me to attack one for Diamba. Folks, we start the way we start. Well, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. I said, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah, Kwao, the fourth chief of the Little Republic of Akwamu Edumasa, and I say thank God it's Monday. We thank God for life in its abundant state. Folks, I say we thank God for life in its free and abundant state. Here we are to perform our favorite and very important ritual, a ritual that makes us Ghanaians, makes us blacks with no apologies, bold and proud, one that makes culture beautiful. Welcome to the ritual I call That's My Opinion, only on Joy 99.7 FM every Monday at this time, so set your clocks. So let us all gather and make truth good at this point. Our topic today, folks, Oba Time Pada. Oba Time Pada. The Ewes will say Avidada. The Gans will say Yo Feyo. Yo for you. Oba Time. I wanted to find the Hausa version. When you get to the callings, man, watch them. 14th May, folks, Sunday was Mother's Day. It's a day that comes with conflicting emotions amongst women. While some totally dread this day, folks, others can't wait for it to pass quickly. There are others who can't revel in it enough. They soak it all up. Soak it all up and get everything there is that the day has to offer. Simple reason. One is a biological mother, the other is not. Folks, if you have followed me for a while, I am sure you know I am a protagonist of everything culture. In fact, I have been accused of romanticizing our history and culture. But with no apologies, I am still pro our indigenous traditions and culture. However, not everything that we did, though it may have been for good reasons, that ended well. And I always preach on the need for us to have the fear of shame, a very good attribute to build and check one's character. However, in its extreme, families, in their bid to cover what is supposedly shame, usually end up hurting victims more or alienating persons with a disability. So a girl gets raped, and the family don't want their name out there tagged with rape. So the young girl must keep quiet and endure in pain. Because no justice, just quiet, because we don't want rape to be attached to the family name. Very tough. A person is born with a deformity. He or she is hidden. We don't want people to see that you are part of this family. And so, in terms of you getting training and getting out there and striving for yourself, may be very, very challenging. All in the name of the fear of shame. So, yes, it's good to have the fear of shame, but I'm saying in the extreme sense, sometimes we fault. So, we have our faults too. And one of such is our traditional marriages. Right there and then, families start demanding for multiple babies. And from the woman, of course. Right there and then. Go, bring us plenty children. The pressure and anxiety alone can delay your natural birth. The pressure and anxiety alone can delay your natural birth. And all the people who are demanding, not one of them will be there to support when these multiple babies arrive. So, folks, one asks, where from this Mother's Day business crowd? And why have we not adapted it to suit our culture in a way that it brings down pressure on women who have not given birth? Folks, all throughout history, women have been recognized and celebrated in one form or the other. Legends to deities and goddesses, fertility goddesses, have always had a place in history. But in the early 1900s, a lady called Anna Jarvis, after the death of her mother in 1905, decided to have a day set aside to honor mothers, because her mom, during the days of the United States Civil War, she was campaigning and championing for peace and started a Save Our Sons and Husbands movement. She also set up a hospice for the wounded soldiers. And she didn't matter whether you were from a soldier from the north or a soldier from the south. And she got some mothers around and they gathered and they nursed you and mothered you back to health. They did not separate. They were mothering and nurturing. Mothering and nurturing. And so Anna's idea was to honor her mom, not only for giving birth to her, but also reaching out to humanity in its deepest, warmest, and protective way. Nature, abadaye obatampa. Abadaye obatampa. So the woman who actually instituted it did not do it just because Mami Awom. Yes, the mom was very supportive and sacrificed a lot for her, but it was the reaching out to humanity that touched Anna. Folks, it looks like I am thinking along the lines of the originator of Mothering Day. She was even upset that the day was, turning too commercial. People were buying cards instead of writing personal letters to their mothers. And today, instead of, going and cooking a pot of something for your mother, fried rice, but the whole idea was to stay with mom and cook something and, that time, that personal touch to show appreciation. And that aspect is being lost. So my focus on this Mother's Day is that instead of pressuring women to give birth just to become mothers to be celebrated on Mother's Day, and giving birth, they have, folks. We still have quite a high fertility rate, of whom a great percentage are from teen mothers, irresponsible mothers, and destitute mothers, trapping their children in very uncomfortable circumstances. Yet, on this day, they will all say, we are mothers and we want a present. Even their own offspring, folks, they haven't been responsible enough to touch their immediate offspring, let alone soldiers fighting in the north and south. But they say they are mothers. Folks, one thing that Anna Jarvis said during her push for Mother's Day, and I think it's so Ghanaian, if I may say. It is so Ghanaian what she said. She said, a mother is any person who has done more for you than anyone in this world. I agree. A mother is any person who has done more for you than anyone in this world. Folks, in tree, that person could be a man or woman, so you're bad tire. It doesn't necessarily mean say you are a woman. It means you you have that nurturing spirit. We say Obatai. The guys who say you for you. We should be pushing our girls and women to enhance this God-given spirit in them. It's a God-given spirit that they have. And this is the reason why Father's Day is not as big as Mother's Day. Yes, fathers are doing their best. Some are paying high fees and paying huge bills to keep the family warm and comfortable. But folks, the father's contribution is not as emotional. And therefore, that connection that we have with our mothers will always be stronger, and Mother's Days will always be blown out of proportion. Folks, get up. It's time for school. Hurry up. You'll be late. Eat up. Eat all your food. Wash your plate after. You have had enough drinks. You're not going to have any more. Go and brush your teeth. Okwaba, anyeye, go and brush it well. How do they even know say anyeye? Go back and brush it. Your shoes are dirty. Clean up after you. Where is your homework? Why is that one not done? We have to be in school. I need to go and see your teacher. You don't look well. Let me take you to the hospital. And then there's the, hey, I'll beat you if you don't stop. And it's almost on a daily basis. Hey, if you dare me, I will show you the bad side of me. Taking her shoes off. Folks, all this for 16 to 18 years. All this routine, 16, 18 years. Threats, love, compassion, discipline, protection. Folks, you can pay Harvard school fees from kindergarten to university. You won't get that connection. That bond that children form with their mother is divine and heavenly. And yes, there are some men who fall into this category, but generally, there are more women there. So you can, as a father, you can come home every day with a new toy, and still, mothers all the way. I remember my father, at one time, he comes home and mom says, look, they're misbehaving. Why don't you tell them off? And he says, what are you talking about? I've been away the whole day. You've been in the house with them since morning. And you marry and buy. I mean, no, and I can imagine where he was coming from. I also need some of the affection. Even though, folks, ironically, affection between child and parent comes only from one thing, discipline. I am telling you, affection from a child to parent only comes from one thing, discipline. That is how the child is able to know whether this parent loves me and this parent doesn't. It's the parent who's concerned and constantly disciplining the child. When that child grows, when that child is eventually on his feet, he will gravitate towards the parent who was the disciplinarian. And usually the mother, because of the time we spend with our mothers. And I'm telling you, folks, even with schools that have a lot of discipline have a good alumni, students afterwards. Schools that are useless, they don't come back to build the school. The ones where the headmasters are strict and the teachers are disciplined, you don't even give them briefing space. When they finish the school, they never leave it. They'll be 60, 70 years old. They'll be there to build dormitories, they can't leave that thing. So discipline, folks, maybe it's a form of nurturing. So let us shift the focus to nurturing and mothering, so that our traditional marriages, women are charged to nurture, to mother, to reach out, and not just go and give birth. Because this, me, myself, and I mothers, they do not reach out. Yet, when it comes to this day and all the fast, they also think they deserve it. A mother that no one thinks of when they are in trouble, hungry, need advice, comfort, a confidant. Just, oh dear, if it's not your biological child, nothing. What is that? Yet on Mother's Day, you want to be taken out. You want to be pampered, fast over. Who have you mothered? Is it not obvious that you just mother the one that you brought out? But the one that mothers more than the child that they brought out is what we are looking at. Folks, in my wife's new book, there's a beautiful story. The strong woman cry. So the guy, my wife, Gifty Auntie, he says my name is Daniel from his home. So Daniel from his home, in my wife Gifty Auntie's new book, there's the story, right? A very sad story of a woman, having a hard time at work because she's not married and has no children. So the women at work who are married are just giving her so much hard time that she's pushed to the edge. She just thinks, let me end it all. I mean, how? Marriage and childbirth. I mean, are they sold in shops that one will wake up in the morning and say, I've refused to go to the shop to buy some? So how do you become this mean and yet want to be celebrated as a mother on Mother's Day? Think about it. How do you become this mean? Push somebody to the edge. Now, what have you mothered? So let us make it Oba time pada. Or however it is said in your language. Oba time pada. And Oba time pada is very gender neutral, even though lots of women will fall into it. Some men will so they are Oba time. Oh boy, we do Oba time. That means he knows how to nurture the children and people around him more. So however it is said in your language, let's adopt it. Just like once upon a time we adopted Chocolate Day, shifting the focus so that it benefits us as well. So next year, folks, we will be watching and taking notes. Have you given birth? Or have you nurtured and mothered all that are concerned and near you? But I want to single out one mother this Mother's Day, and that's Nana Afrakoma II, the Akwamuhima. And I'm not just saying that. Folks, mothering is what? 3 days, she hasn't heard from you. She rings round. She rings round, finding out how you are. If there's any event, she will call to find out how things are going, how you are planning, all the traditional protocols that you have to adhere to, or back. You get there, and you have to eat. So you don't go there on a full stomach. Let me confess, publicly. One day I'm not a kenke eater because it really, weighs down on me. But one day I was going to visit Afrakuma and I ate kenke. And I had already told her I'm coming. So when I went there, she had actually made them prepare fufu. Just say, fufu. How do I tell my mother, say, oh, mommy, mindi? What is what friends? Oh, my sweet. How I did not get appendicitis that day, only God knows. I had to sit down and swallow the fufu on top of the kinky. Now that's what I call mothering. Mothering. We will be feel comedy. Now common what is that? What commodity sana de communo. Just a gari cry, a chimeko cry, the sardine being 2 inches so there. You want to eat something. Yet on Mother's Day, because he be family pay, na me your mother. Oh mother, why? Oh mother, why? Just 7, 5 is your mother. No. It goes beyond that. Be a one quite a crabby see home. To be by our won't take a crab, Munkan Quanish, only be Ansah wako. Every day people are thinking about you. When they need to confide in you, when your problem, you your same people or dream. So let me go and see this mother because it will be sorted. So Nana Afrakoma on this day does. But I've been blessed with many mothers, honestly. I have been very, very fortunate in that department. My mom, Nanessa Adansumi, Nanessa Udue Jako. Nanessa Udue Ejako. My mom, Chuchola say, my auntie Edie Brooks, Ya Janwa, Nanan Ketia Obuo. It's my daughter and my mother at the same time. It's a tradition here, Jumadi Ukrapim Himia. And I would answer. Mother for all. Even before Nyonyam came, she had 10s and 20s and 30s daughters. all calling mommy this, mommy that, mommy this, mommy that. As a woman, you must reach out. You must reach out. It is a God-given gift in you. So you have to enhance it and reach out. So on this beautiful Obatampa Day, we are watching our mothers. And it's 0302 216 541. Let us talk. Daniel from Ansah, happy Mother's Day to your mother. Mami Ajwa in West Hills Mall, happy Mother's Day to you. Zero 302-216-541. Hello, and who's talking to me?
Hello, thank God for keeping you.
Thank God for.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm very good, my brother. I'm very good.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask, is every woman a mother?
Well, that's a very debatable. Very debatable. Very debatable.
And if you have children with a certain man and leave the man for another man, ignoring your child, are you a good mother? If because there's a problem with this man, so a child even less than a year has been left behind, going to seek for another man, does it qualify you to be a good mother? So I like your definition that about time, because you know about time being a papa. So once you are the Obatan who has the passion for your child, you are to be celebrated. And God bless you for this your topic.
God bless you too. 03022165. Hello, who's talking to me?
Good evening.
Good evening. Nakwesi, let me hear you.
For a second, I thought you were talking about my parents. As grown as we are, they don't hear from you. They are calling you all the time. If you decide to go and visit, Charlie, the food. So I don't like to go there because I feel like I'm putting them through stress. Honestly. And I couldn't agree less. That's what mothering is. And this will come just both parents, mom and dad. And it's amazing about the whole marriage and birthday. I think it's first time we go to understand that not everyone is meant to have these tools. Some will get both, some will get one, and some will get just none. That's just how it is. Not everyone will have both. And we should stop making it a standard for people. It's so bad. So these are the advice I tell people who are closer to me who keep getting these questions, especially the women. Anytime they are questioning about when are you getting married, when are you giving birth, I just tell this person that when you die, I'll do this too. Honestly, see, it's so distasteful, it sounds disrespectful to them, but anytime they do that, they don't ask them again. Don't ask them again. That pressure is gradually wearing off. So please, if you are listening and you are being pressured, anybody who asks you, tell them when you die, I'll get married and have a child. They'll stop asking you. Good evening.
Good evening. 0302216541. Happy Obatampa Day. We are trying to change the focus to bring out the potential in women, which I strongly believe it's a God-given potential. It's a God-given potential. Yes, you may have one or two men who fall into it, but generally, you can't touch a woman when it comes to that nurturing, that apadaye, that they just sometimes just only hokra who say no, there's something not right. 0302 216 541. I really want to hear the women's take on this issue, so that the focus of motherhood does not become my mother. It must go beyond that. This one says mothers go beyond physical definition of a woman with children. There must be skills of care, love, fellow feeling, and putting together warring factions of society when there's chaos. Happy Mother's Day to all responsible and deserving mothers across the country and the world. May God replenish all their efforts and crown their efforts with ultimate success. Citizen Siga Togo from East Legon. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, I'm Geoffrey Amonovo.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah, calling from Majidoma.
Let me hear you.
Central Tongue in the Volta region.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say something about the Happy Mother's Day.
Yep.
And I wish every woman Happy Mother's Day. Though my mother is gone, but my siblings, being a mother and my wife, I wish everybody Mother's Day. And also, I want to talk about the issue that we are talking about. And is that some of the women, at times, they don't, as their children, they don't take care about them, and they don't do well about them, but also, as it happens this way, we wish them Happy Mother's Day. And those that are not taking care about their children. And also, at times we talk about that the fathers also are not doing well, but at times the mothers also are not doing well. It happens this way that, if it happens this way, the mother, they don't take care about the children, but rather the father also. It happens that way if it comes about separation. So, in all the same wisdom, Happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you too very much. 0302216541. And on this beautiful Mother's Day, while we are still matchmaking, Mami Ajua, greetings from Malik to you. Very soon we exchange numbers. Very soon we exchange numbers. Hello, who's talking to me? Oh. Call back 0302216541. So I was going to visit Nana Frakoma, as I said, Kotana, see the boys, Ed Kinky, Dido Kuniwi, and like I said, I am not a kinky person. When I eat kinky, that's it, done for the day. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Please, this is Ruki, speaking from Hacho.
Let me hear you.
Okay, so sometimes it's funny how when it's related to women, we tend to come out and then we defend it. As if every woman has the right to be celebrated. But unfortunately, it's not. There are some people, they are just women, they are not mothers. I had a stepmom who, the maltreatments I went through in her hands, there's no way I would celebrate her on a day like this. But at the same time, I had my mother's sister who took us in when my mom and dad separated. We were 3. And this woman did amazing. She didn't have any kids of her. She wasn't even married then. But she mothered us. And she still continued to mother us. So such a person, if she's being celebrated on a day like this, she deserves it. So society needs to come together because, yes, we see all these people around us So you can't come out in the daylight and be like, because she's the mere fact that she's a woman, she needs to be celebrated. It goes beyond being a woman. It's about the heart within you towards people, even if they are not your kids. So I totally agree with you. It's not just about the day has come, so every woman should be celebrated. But then who really is a mother? And the word here is a mother. Which is not just, oh, I've given birth. No. It's not just that. It goes beyond that. And this, I hope, when we start doing that, many homes will be changed. It's not surprising that some people get married, and those who humiliate them and maltreat them are women. A woman marries and can't give birth, and you find her fellow women maltreating her. You call this a mother? No. So thank you very much for your topic this evening. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who are mothering others to be good people in society. Thank you.
I'll even say amen to that. 0302216541. Keep your calls coming in. That was it. I think that summed up everything that I was trying to say. Yes, you're a woman. We don't want to dispute that, India, Charlie. But are you a mother? And even going to a mother, are you just a mother to the children you have birthed? Or it goes beyond. 0302216541. So yes, I think I went to visit my mom. I call her sweet mother. Hey, Ivy, why Nana Bahas, why not be an I can't for bra gig? Hey, oh, Mitty so banana, I've done your fufu for you. So they come and serve me this fufu, and I am full already with kinky. Charlie, how do I look at my mother and say, oh, me what are you talking about? Fufu. Folks, only God knows how I did not come out of that palace with appendicitis. I had to swallow lumps of fufu on top of that kinky. I mean, yes, a mistake. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana.
Yes, sir.
Happy Mother's Day to you yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Nana, you know what? This Mother's Day thing has been, has been a nemesis for me.
Wow.
I am a 60-year-old man, and yet any time I hear of this man, it's as if every week there's a Mother's Day. I can't stand it. I just cannot stand it. I went through some evil treatment from a stepmother. This stepmother, it was said that when they married, when my father, then was my father, a young man married her and the child was not coming. So according to the people, this man has to go and turn around somewhere and bring a child to her. So as whatever happened, they brought me to her, and about when I was around 4 years, she conceived. She conceived and had my sister. About 4 years, twice this woman tried to kill me. Twice. The first time was around 4 years. The second time was about 5 something years. All the two. Then my father was working with a company called CFAO, and he was the first black salesman. So they took him to Kumasi, and he was the first black salesman at Kumasi. The story was that the doctor who happened to work on mine. No, this woman would just throw me over some balcony where at the kitchen where we sit down and eat with her. This woman twice. The third time, my father traveled to UK. That was when I was 1960 born. 68, my father traveled to continue whatever at UK. And the second time, what happened was that because I was able to I was afraid for them. I mean, the first time it was hunting me. So the second time, I held her strongly and she threw me with all her strength. But what happened was that, these white people work and things, the clerk, like my father was having a washman and things, so she does not wash. She does not wash. But the cloth that she was wearing that day, before the doctor called my father from office, and they came and she has washed the cloth and was hanging. So they asked her why. They asked question. By then I was a baby. I don't know what has happened. It was later when my father left for UK. I should be around 7 years then, because my father left at 1968. And I'm a 31st December born. So, 61, I will only be 1 day old. So I say I'm 7 years. Then I should be, technically I'll be 8 years. But 7 years, because I only listen. This woman came to my village, and the second time resulted in separation. The second attempt resulted in separation. Those people, it's not like separation, that family sat down. They just go to your father, I will come. Mm-hmm. And that was the end of it. So this woman followed into our village where I was with my grandmother. And before she was coming there, she brought soap. She made the soap like how Pepsodent was. She said she was bathing me. This woman pushed the soap all into my nose and my... Oh! So it was then when somebody came in, I go. That was how I got my life saved. That was how I got my life saved. And if I should tell you, we don't have time, if I should tell you how this woman pursued my life, even in my marital life, this woman was still in my life. Until she died recently.
Thank you very much. I guess this says is so. This woman, and not that mother. Going forward, I'm saying, look, let us focus on the Obatampa issue. The stressing on the woman just giving birth, I think we've done enough of that, and we should definitely go beyond that. And I think maybe there are even women who may not even know that this is like a God-given, an inherent gift that they have, to help humanity. And if we change the focus, and start recognizing their effort in reaching out, we are very competitive people. Who knows? It will be now competitive to reach out to see who can mother more and make, a much better impact in society. Sad story. Well,
calling from Oda.
Yes, sir. Who's talking to me?
I'm Frank.
Frank?
From Oda.
Oda, okay. Lower your radio for me. Let me hear you, Frank.
Okay.
Good.
Hello.
Yes, Frank, I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm enjoying your program.
Okay, thank you.
And I like the topic you have introduced about Tampa. Mm-hmm. That is what we should call it. Yeah. Not every woman should be celebrated. One issue about this matter is that, you see, in this country, they say the divorce rate is rising, or it has gone up. A lot of marriages are breaking up. And when they're broken home, the children are affected. What I have realized is that some women want to live a certain lifestyle, but they are not prepared to pay for that lifestyle. If you and your husband live in a single room, you are not working to support the man. And you want to leave the single room and go and rent an apartment. Now you know how much you are going to pay for this apartment. If you are not prepared to support the man, why don't you stay with your man in a single room and take care of your children? But you raise your lifestyle. If you raise that lifestyle, or if you want to live that kind of lifestyle, then be prepared to support the man in financing what kind of lifestyle that you want to live. But you are not ready to support every man. So if the man says there's no money, then you complain, you are stingy, you are this, you are that. And then you complain, and then you leave the marriage. Then the children are affected. Such women should not be celebrated.
I get you. 0302216541. It's been a quite touching, touching stories. I didn't even expect that that's what it's going to be at all. But it's really, really, really touching stories. But I think it's dawning on us that too many people are jumping onto the Women's Day parade who are not supposed to be on that bandwagon. Your Mother's Day, you be there, also baby DP. Trimu ding, umobi eduani ni brunkola. It's Mother's Day, pra no aba. Now also bet Mother's Day ni be. They say yeah, baby be we are going to be wild. We are going to be wild. Come and say how many people have you mothered in the last 6 months? What did you do? What did you do? So yesterday, Enyonyam and I, we woke up because Awo had a program in Kumasi. So we woke up in the morning and she's, our little girl, and that, can you take me to a fancy restaurant? I said, yeah, no problem. Mom's not there, so you're going to be the mother for today. We get to the fancy restaurant, we were late for breakfast. So then I called my mom. So we came to a restaurant, but Charlie, Timo Wang, say a few hours is here. By the time we get there, she's baked a cake, cooked jollof, apple, why we were just full up. Mother. On Kaplan, it's just that, when we got to the restaurant, it was closed. So we thought, well, that's the next best option. That's the next best option. So, let's go to Grandma. We drove to Grandma's. Nice pot of jollof, nice cake, eat your jollof, have your cake. Small bottle of beer, beauty, a gusuna, the achichore. And I think these things, I'm not saying we force it or something, but we encourage it. The focus on give birth, is becoming outdated. I was surprised when I was reading about the history of Mother's Day, and when I realized, the whole idea behind it. That Anna Jarvis just wanted to celebrate her mom because of what her mom had done. And so it was just a Sunday service. That's what he wanted to do, nice Sunday service. And she was trying to get a national holiday for her mom, for Mother's Day, to declare a national holiday. And currently about 40 countries, do celebrate it. So she did well in terms of establishing the day, because what her mom did, she saw her mom sacrificing for her, championing that, at the time in America, the Northerners wanted slaves to be freed. The Southerners wanted to keep their slaves because of the cotton fields. And so there was a big fight, and the soldiers were dying in their numbers and getting wounded. And so there's this woman. She didn't care whether I'm going to save the Southerners or the Westerners. Got a few women together to make sure that, and that you can't take that away from women. That you can't take away from women. You cannot take that away from women. And so she did that. So after her death, her daughter thought, something? This woman mothered so many people, reached out to so many people. So let me celebrate her. If we are going to maintain the day as it was till date, then the reason behind it is mothering. Not necessarily because she just gave birth to Anna, no. But she went out there to make sure, stop the war. Those who are wounded, those who are hungry, come and feed. Those who, have a challenge, come. I have a listening ear. I have a shoulder for you to cry on. I have a finger to point you in the right direction. Those are the things that should be celebrated on the day. Those are the things that should be celebrated on the day. And I think we have to start encouraging it. So because you are warrior, tell you, so about warrior, you are the woman. You are stronger emotionally. You are the one that's a peacemaker. And then you encourage that thing out of them. But we are becoming too civilized and too educated, so everything is me, myself, and I. A life well lived. Colonel H.L. Ofosu Apia retired. The man who made me chief. He was supposed to be chief of Adumasa, and he says, Nana, Besina Wokona Koyana, my penny. Thursday, 1st June 2023, filing past and funeral service, 9 to 11 a.m. Christ Presby Church, Ekropong. Attire is black. Friday, 2nd June 2023, filing past 6:30 to 8:45. Military funeral service will start at 900 hours. Location Garrison Methodist Presby Church, Burma Camp. Interment will follow and the funeral service at the military cemetery at East Airport. The funeral grounds will be at the Arakan Barracks, Officers Mess. Sunday, church service at the Kropong Christ Church. And then Monday, as your Kropons, we'll sit down on the Monday